Welcome to VGK Today, presented by MGM Rewards, a daily podcast bringing you an inside look at the Vegas Golden Knights' 2023 Stanley Cup playoff run. I'm Justin Russo with the Golden Knights on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 14th, and the VGK are preparing for Game 6 against the Edmonton Oilers with their first opportunity to knock out Edmonton and advance to the Western Conference Final. It was a tough road to get to this point for the VGK, who had to rally around each other in Game 5 on Friday without one of their top guys, Alex Pietrangelo, who faced a one-game suspension in Game 5 after a slashing penalty to Leon Draisaitl at the end of Game 4. And despite that absence, the Vegas Golden Knights were able to pull out the win and take an important 3-2 series lead as the series shifts back to Edmonton. And to get you ready for tonight's Game 6, I'll throw it over now to Daren Millard, who also had a chance to speak with Alex Pietrangelo about his absence in the last game.
Thank you, Justin. Expecting Alex Pietrangelo to stop by in a little bit. Looking forward to hearing the Blue Liners' assessment of this series, what he expects in his return from suspension this evening, along with what it was like for him to watch Game 5. He was more of a fan than a player. Getting through Friday on the right side of that result now means Vegas can eliminate the Oilers tonight and advance to the third round of the Stanley Cup playoffs for the fourth time in 6 years. Incredible. It would mark the first time either team posts consecutive wins in this second round set, involving the top two teams in the Western Conference. And I have to say, it feels like this series has entered a new phase, having produced its most competitive night in Game 5. That Vegas power play, it stayed with its high-profile counterpart, helping produce a third win for the Golden Knights after allowing the first goal. And despite trailing in every outing, being within reach after the first period has been critical to giving the VGK this series advantage 3-2. Tonight marks the 10th meeting of the season between the Golden Knights and the Oilers, which, if you think about it, hints strongly that we might be at a point where the players know all the secrets that the other side has to offer. And that's something that I put to Bruce Cassidy before the club departed for Alberta yesterday.
Do you do more coaching as the series goes on or less coaching as the series goes deep?
Well, there's more little things you got to look at, I think, in terms of, okay, where do we need to drill down now? At first, okay, there's the obvious stuff, and you try to change it, and then it's little micro things that could make the difference in the game. So that's it. You know what? I have to think that one through, Daren, a little more. I think we're always coaching, I'll say that. If I don't, I'm going to make me look like an idiot if I don't say that, right? So, but in general, I think we are. We're always looking to think, where can we get better? What's going to be the difference in the game tonight that we can, tangibly give to the players without overloading them, right? So we're always looking at stuff like that. We made a few adjustments in our power play. We were able to work on it yesterday morning. I thought it freed up some plays, for us. So I think, yes, you're always doing a little bit of that and reminding what's in front of the guys. I think, it's hard. It's a grind for these guys. This is the opportunity that exists in front of us. So to get a little more of that motivational pull for them. So I think you're doing, I'm going to say more, I guess. Maybe less in terms of some areas, but more in others, if that makes sense.
So the keys never fully get handed over to the players, and the return of Alex and Darnell Nurse from their respective punishments will tweak things. I caught up with the veteran Golden Knights blue liner yesterday and started by asking if there's any way he can spin being forced to watch Game 5 into an advantage for him personally.
I think we use it as a good day for me to get some rest, and took a pretty dirty bump from behind, so I had to, work on a few things to heal myself back up. But it's kind of a, advantage. I guess I got 3 days here to get ready for tomorrow. It's not fun watching. It's pretty nerve-wracking, actually. The emotions took a hit there last night, but overall, you get a win. I get a chance to take a break and get ready for tomorrow.
Was that the most stressed you've been watching a game?
Absolutely, 100%. I don't think maybe early in my career I missed a playoff game because I was hurt, but that's the first one where I've been healthy and can't do anything about it.
Are you a pacer? How do you watch? What do you do?
You're going to have to ask Phil Kessel that one. I'm a little bit of everything.
Jumping around, like bouncing?
Yeah, it's tough when you can't do anything about it. It's just, there's no control, right? I mean, that was probably the most excited I've been watching a sporting event in a long time. Minus maybe a playoff on a golf and the Masters or something. But other than that, that was the most excited I've been.
So the coaches, how do they do it? Could you be a coach?
Coaches, you're in the fire a little bit. You're on the bench. You have a little bit of control, right, of what's going on. You have a better feel for the game. I think it'd be harder maybe being an owner or a GM or being George, standing up there and having no control of what's going on. So I could see why they get emotional during the games.
When you look back at what happened for the first 4 games of the series, can you compare it to other series that you've been involved in as far as intensity and fierceness?
Yeah, I've played a lot of playoff series. There's been some really intense playoff series.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen as much, I don't want to say, I don't want to say dirty plays, but people, trying to be physical for, I guess, not really a reason. But, this time of the year, intensity is high. Both, teams are intense, emotions are high, and sometimes they get the better of you. I think both teams will say that, but it also makes, this time of the year the most fun.
Have you felt like a target?
It's pretty obvious the answer on that question, but that's okay. I'll just keep on playing.
How do you get back up and get right back into it after taking knocks like that?
Well, there's some, that, I thought were pretty dirty and a little unnecessary, but that's not how I was, learn how to play the game. It was if you can get up, you get up and stick up for yourself and, get out there for the next shift if you can. And had some guys that I followed early in my career, and it wasn't, stay on the ice and pretend like you're hurt and then get out for the next shift to try and draw a penalty. I mean, that's not how we play the game. That's not how our organization is. So if I can get up and either get to the bench or stick up for myself and my teammates, are going to do that.
Big opportunity coming up.
For the game?
Yeah.
Well, we know what's at stake. They know what's at stake, right? I think there's no secrets. Like I said, 5 games into the series, emotions will be high, but I think good travel day today. Both teams will be ready.
Thanks for this.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's a guy who's won a Stanley Cup, stood on top of an Olympic podium with a gold medal around his neck. He's seen it, he's done it all. But you still get the feeling this series has become personal because he's been the focus of the Oilers, or the target of the Oilers. Game starts at 7 Vegas time, but that's an 8 p.m. local start in Edmonton. See if being close to a normal Golden Knights puck drop, 7 o'clock here, changes the trend of allowing the first goal in every game so far. Anytime Vegas has had a lead in this series, they've gone on to win that game. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. We love you. We need you. We'd be lost without you. Enjoy the day, and we would love to see everybody's moms over at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson tonight for the watch party. Tons of fun outside. A perfect place inside the home of the Henderson Silver Knights to take in a potential clincher for the visitors, who will try to repeat their dominating performance from Game 3. ESPN has the game on the TV side. The flagship station of the Golden Knights, Fox Sports Las Vegas, presents the game on the radio, beginning with the pregame show at 6. Justin, hope you enjoyed the conversation with Alex. He's had time to step back from the intensity of this series by not playing in game number 5, but I think you could hear it in his voice. I could see it talking to him. This is different than a lot of other battles that this veteran has been in. He was the first to high-five the guys after that game on Friday night. Tonight, he'll be at the front of the line leading them.
Well, I'd certainly agree with you there, Daren, that there was a different tone in Alex Pietrangelo's voice that indicates that he wants to go into Edmonton tonight and he wants to finish this series tonight. He does not want to mess around and go to Game 7 against these guys, and I think he has taken it a bit personally after all the things that have transpired in this series, from him feeling targeted by the Edmonton Oilers, leading to the suspension when he retaliated against Leon Draisaitl, to now this moment where he gets the opportunity to get back onto the ice for his team and help them, hopefully, win this game and send them to the Western Conference Final. But for Alex Pietrangelo, I can't imagine the stress that he was going through in Game 5, and I think he made an important distinction there. He talked about earlier in his career when he missed a playoff game due to an injury, and that's certainly one feeling, right, where you're not going to be able to get out there and you're just hoping for the best for your guys, but it's got to be a whole nother beast when you're healthy, you're ready to go, you've been in it, and there's just nothing you can do. You're just helpless watching them play on the ice and hoping that they get that win. So I think for Alex Pietrangelo, ready to get back onto the ice and contribute to his team to see if they can get the win in Game 6. And For all those people that may not be watching the NBA playoffs right now, I'd like to take a moment to compare it to a situation because it reminds me a little bit of it. If you watch the first round of the NBA playoffs between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies, reminds me of the situation between LeBron James of the Lakers and Dillon Brooks of the Grizzlies. There were some comments going back and forth, and Dillon Brooks essentially made a comment saying, I'm not worried about LeBron James. He's old. This is our generation's time to get this win, and we're going to take care of business. And I think that irked LeBron James, and you saw him turn it up there in that series. And the message that came out of the series after the Lakers eventually won in 6 games was, don't poke the bear. Do not poke the bear because you don't want to find out what's going to happen. The Lakers ended up winning that series pretty handily, and I think for Alex Pietrangelo, he wants to go in there to Edmonton and end their season in front of their home fans. There's got to be no better feeling than to suck the life out of a building than the potential that the Golden Knights have in tonight's Game 6. So for the Edmonton Oilers, don't poke the bear because I think Alex Pietrangelo is ready to go for tonight's Game 6, and he's rested. Those legs are fresh. He is going to give it his all to make sure this is the last game of the series between these two teams. So we'll see if the Knights can pull it out in Game 6, and they can move on to the next round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, one away from the Stanley Cup final. And as Daren mentioned, big watch party tonight at the Dollar Loan Center starting at 5:30. Of course, puck drop will be at 7, but lots of activities going on at the DLC tonight, so be sure to head over there for a fun watch party for the Vegas Golden Knights Game 6 against the Edmonton Oilers. I'd also like to echo what Daren said and wish everyone out there a happy Mother's Day. We'd all be lost without you, as he said, so happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, and hopefully the Golden Knights can give a nice Mother's Day gift to all the mothers out there with a big win in Game 6. Justin Russo signing off for episode 28 of VGK Today, presented by MGM Rewards.